What's up, guys? So I had to take a little road trip, so I'm going to show you that. And anybody can tell me where I'm at. What I'll do, I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Okay, I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Now, here's what's the problem with a lot of banks and credit unions, and it's way worse than you think. And the reason why I'm telling you it's way worse than you think, when you're trying to get $5, $10, $15, even a $25,000 loan and you getting denied, is because of what the banks have been doing and what the company they're using currently, ChexSystems, is really putting the brakes on you getting approved for a loan. Okay, and why I said that ChexSystems stopping you from getting approved for a loan, well, here's the situation. All right, when you go into ChexSystems, most people don't know that you have two files. Okay, so you have a personal file and you have a business file. Okay, and I'm gonna explain both of those to you, and I'm gonna tell you why you may need to look at finance companies, and I'll give you a few of the finance companies you may have to start using instead of the banks and credit unions to get a loan, especially when you have bad credit. It has nothing to do with the credit score, and it has nothing to do with your DTI, your debt to income ratio. Okay, it's what the banks and credit unions are telling ChexSystems that's starting to hurt people. Okay, so how do you even get into ChexSystems? Well, there's 7 ways for you to get into ChexSystems, and that's with having having bounced checks, having involuntary account closures. That's right. Even if you didn't have anything to do with it and they close your checking account, you end up in ChexSystems, right? Now, you also have chronic overdrafts. If you have too many overdrafts, guess what? They will put you in ChexSystems, all right? If you have unpaid accounts, okay, we already know that's a given. They put you in ChexSystems, all right? Then ATM misuse. Now, what do they mean by that? I don't know, but they said ATM misuse. Anybody that's familiar with this, put it in the comments. Now, they also said debit card fraud. So when people had been going over to Chase to do the Chase hack, where they take their debit card, they go up to a Chase and they put in a code and it'll spit out money and stuff like that, then that you end up in ChexSystems because of that. Not only do you end up in ChexSystems because of that, you also can end up putting yourself in jail, and they're still investigating those type of cases as well. So that's definitely one of them. And then the last one is identity theft. Okay, now another way, I forgot to add, another way for you to end up in ChexSystems, when you have when you open up too many bank accounts at the same time. That's right, too many inquiries would definitely keep you in ChexSystems as well. Now, that's on the personal side. Here's the business side that people do not know. Okay, when you are denied a business checking account, okay, you're in ChexSystems, and it may not have nothing to do with you. What it is, sometimes these virtual addresses, okay, these virtual addresses, when you setting up your company and you hire these companies to set up your business, when they use a virtual address, that virtual address of that person prior to you may have defaulted on accounts and stuff. All right, now you using that same address, you end up being hit with that, you end up being penalized for it. Okay, and you didn't have nothing to do with it. So that's the reason why I'm telling you guys, there's more to this. And I'm gonna tell you about Dun & Bradstreet, because a lot of people are not aware. See, Dun & Bradstreet, they get their information, and this is very important because a lot of people don't know this. They get their information from Small Business Financial Exchange, Plaid, and Lilly, right? And they would scrape the Secretary of State system as well. Now, why am I talking about Dun & Bradstreet? Well, those same systems that Dun & Bradstreet it's scraping, guess what? ChexSystems is scraping those as well, okay? And so they're holding your business information hostage from there. Now you wondering like, how come I can't get a business checking account and stuff like that? Again, because there's information out there about that address, or you yourself may have defaulted on business accounts and stuff, or closed overdraft business accounts, and you didn't think it was going to catch up with you. Well, ChexSystems got your back. They definitely is going to hold that information. You'll be liable for it. Now, that's first, okay? So you got that. Hear this out. A lot of people don't even know that with ChexSystems, they're owned by Fidelity National Information Services. Why am I telling you that? The reason is because with Fidelity National Information Services, they're the ones that's reporting if you had defaulted on a payday loan or you got a payday loan, right? So ChexSystems own that company. So where I was telling you Clarity, DataX, Factor Trust, Teletrack had information on your payday loans, well, guess what? ChexSystems has that information too, all right? So when you applying for a lender and stuff like that, even with bad credit, and you have good income, you may be in ChexSystems because of that. So you're not just in ChexSystems because of a bounce check. You're in ChexSystems because you had defaulted on a payday loan. Okay, not only on payday loans, you can get in ChexSystems when you do subprime. Like if you do that rent to own type of stuff, you end up in ChexSystems. This is why I tell you guys that there's multiple things that keep you from getting qualified. That's the reason why you're going to find more people. You would have a less of a chance being in ChexSystems if you're like using a finance company. And so like some of the finance companies I've been telling you guys is like Reprise Finance Company.
Turn right.
Just one moment. When you use like Reprise Finance Company, they give you up to $25,000, right? Okay. They do a soft pull on the credit. Now, again, here's the thing about it. Once you actually accept the loans from them, then they do the hard pull. But again, a lot of people are not aware of this. So when you go to the bank, when you go to your credit union, okay, and you decide, oh, I'm just going to walk away from that bank, I'm no longer going to use that bank or whatever, that's your prerogative. But you better make sure you have a zero balance. And again, if they do a voluntary closure on your checking account without your permission, you need to make sure that you don't owe anybody any money. Okay, that's very important. Okay, and one of the sneaky ways that banks be draining your account, like if you have money in a savings account or something like that. So when they sending out like paper notices and stuff, switching over to digital notices instead of paper notices, so that way they don't charge you like $2, $3 just to be sending you out that monthly notice. That'll drain your checking account as well. And then you're not even knowing it, you end up with overdraft fees for something that you had nothing to do with it. So that's the reason why I'm telling you this, guys. This is serious, and a lot of people are not even aware of this. So if you wondering why you ain't getting a loan or whatever, it has nothing to do with the credit score. It's because you may be in ChexSystems, and where you thinking that I never had a bounce check, I never had written a bad check or anything like that. No. You may have had a payday loan that you didn't pay back, and that could have been a reason why. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation.